right now, you guys, and we're gonna do just a quick overview of what's taking place today, and as well as Fransua's diagnosis.
Yeah, so Francois here was seen by my colleague very recently, and they did some blood work on him, and the blood work showed a very, very high level of glucose, almost about 10 times the normal amount, and there's very rarely any other conditions in bearded dragons that causes glucose to be that high, except for a type of cancer called gastric neuroendocrine carcinoma. Also, this is kind of a sort of a stomach cancer. It tends to be found at the stomach, but it's a pretty aggressive cancer. Typically, these guys don't typically live very long once they've been diagnosed with this condition. And usually they can't eat. They usually they really become very thin and start to lose a lot of weight. If you can see the bones here, we're very, very thin. You can see the bone. You can see there's no fat. So we're very, very thin, and that's one of the symptoms that we see with this cancer. For most cases of these cancer, humane euthanasia is the best option.
Because even if we did choose to, say, cut portions of his stomach, it wouldn't make a difference.
Usually it does not. Usually it's a pretty new cancer in the sense that we've only known about it for not many years. And they've tried a lot of chemotherapy options. They've tried surgical treatment, and none of them seem to improve the survivability of this cancer. And so then we always have to look into, is it humane to put an animal through that if it's not improving their chances of surviving,
Right.
which usually it's not.
I see. So what will be the process of which we're going to be doing today?
So we're going to go ahead and humanely euthanize him today. So we'll go ahead and give him some medications that will sedate him. Once he's fully anesthetized, we'll then give him a euthanasia medication that will go directly into his heart. Once he has passed fully, we'll then do a necropsy on him to have a look at the cancer growing on the inside. Yeah, so these are just IV bags that are marked as just kind of warming bags, because you obviously don't want to use an IV bag that you've thrown in a microwave on someone, right? Yeah, so they're marked, and so they're a quick, easy way to warm up an animal so that we can keep them nice and warm. Especially because they maintain their heat for a pretty long time.
Gotcha. And this is necessary to allow the dragon to heat up faster and have the medicine transfer to the body.
Correct, yeah, because these guys are cold-blooded, so they do need their, hey, big boy, they need their temperatures warmed up. So their whole body, their whole systems are very reliant on their heat. All right, guys. So I'm going to give him about 5 minutes to warm up, and then I'll come in and I'll give the sedation medications. Okay?
Thank you.
Some muscles.
There's no fat flaps.
Oh, little one, I'm going to have to do this over a few injections. Do you want to give me more needles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'll have to divide this up over a few. Oh, little one.
So now what's the next step?
So now I will go ahead and give the sedation through to the muscles. I might. Little one. We're so thin that.
They said that he had like 0% fat.
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine it. So I might give the injection under the skin, it will take a little bit longer to kick in. But at least I have the space to do it. There's just no muscle here. I mean, I could give it there. I think it'll just hurt too much.
Right.
So I think we'll give it under the skin, and then we might have to place us in anesthesia until we fall asleep.
Gotcha. I was gonna ask, since it is gonna take longer to kick in, is he gonna show any signs of discomfort, or just kind of
Patient.
Okay.
I mean, could he show something like dysphoria? It's always possible, but likelihood's not.
But I mean, based on the situation, there's really no other way. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, there's a muscle here. It's just it's a very small muscle, and you can see how much fluid we have to give.
Right.
We might do half and half.
Half on one side.
Yeah, and I might do half in the muscle, half in the skin.
Okay. You're the expert.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's okay, buddy.
One.
I can come on the other side if you
Yeah,
want me
that's
to.
probably best.
It's
Hi,
okay,
Fransua.
buddy. It's okay.
So now you're injecting it into the skin.
Actually, I'm in the muscle right now,
Okay.
and that's probably as much as I could do on that side. I
It's
know,
okay.
little one. We'll do on the next side.
Okay, buddy.
Sorry, Fransua.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I know, we were being good friends, now I'm the mean one who's poking you.
So, obviously the anesthesia was half and half muscle, half under the skin, you guys, because he has 0% fat in his body. So, there was no, way to be able to fully give him anesthesia through the muscles. It would be too painful. So, the vet decided to do half and half muscular and half under the skin. It's gonna take a couple minutes for it to finally kick in. From there, we will have to say bye to Fransua. But this is our documentary, our research to be able to make sure that when we do work with this lineage, none of our other dragons are susceptible or possibly are carriers to cancer, and to make sure that we can get as educated as possible on this, because there are many dragons that do suffer from cancer, and other reptiles as well. It's not only for bearded dragons. This is just to bring awareness.
I think it already kicked in, right?
Possibly, huh? Do you wanna? I'm going in there with my nails.
And it's so skinny, I think it already kicked in. Guys, these are probably Francois' last moments. He's limp. Do you still feel him when he fix his arm?
Yeah, he fixes the arm.
Yeah.
This is the last moments, you guys. We will decide if we wish to share this or not, because this is very personal for Giovanni and I. We were very excited when we got Fransua, because he's just so beautiful, so unique. A very beautiful dragon, very beautiful morph. beautiful structured head. But sadly, this is our journey with him. But we did not want his death to just be another death in the books. We wanted to be able to educate ourselves on what happened, what caused it, and see if we can do our part in any way to contribute to helping researchers, specialists, or professionals to better understand cancer in hopes of a cure. Obviously not in the near future, but somehow. And with this documentary, we're doing our best to contribute in that sense. So I think he must be so skinny that it already kicked in faster than what any of us thought. Okay, you guys, so Fransua is no longer with us. He has been peacefully, inhumanely euthanized. It went straight to the heart for a quick death. He did not feel any pain, according to the vet. So this is our last moment. After this, we are gonna proceed with the next step. But yeah, definitely one of our babies. So we are going to proceed with the necropsy. Yeah, with the necropsy, so we can get a better understanding of the anatomy, possibly see if there was anything else that they would have missed. This is our documents, our research, so that way we can better understand and possibly see early signs of cancer. Walk us through.
Sure, yeah, so I'm just making a midline incision. If I was doing this for a real surgery, I would be doing it just off the midline because I actually have a big blood vessel that runs down it. In fact, you can see I actually hit that blood vessel as going in. And normally when you actually do this surgery, you're a bit more cautious and you kind of go around the scales, so you kind of follow the scales. I'm just cutting through the scales right now.
Right. So you would follow the scales?
Yes, exactly.
It's a full midline.
Right, yeah, so this is the, exactly. So this is the coelomic membrane. So this is the kind of they're equivalent to our peritoneum.
Okay.
Okay.
I see that. Okay.
Yeah. And so if you can see, there's lots of blood vessels through this. And so. Okay, so I do this to separate us. I'm gonna try to open up everything here. In situ. So this is when we are just kind of looking at it as it would sit in the body. Right. So this is our liver. This back here are our lungs. See? And then up here is our heart. Right, it's right here. Yeah, they don't have a diaphragm to separate their lungs and the heart from the organs.
I see.
Yeah, so we look at everything here, okay, in general, try to just see if there's anything that stands out right away, okay. That liver's a bit small for me, not the color I'd like for a liver.
And where exactly are you pointing?
So this is the liver right here, this big black thing here. This is our gallbladder. It makes sense that it's large if we've not been eating.
Right.
Because that's what kind of dictates it to empty. And so that's all our lung here. And so the lung can actually, when it inflates, it comes all the way down. And these are our intestines. Okay. And so down here, it's empty, but that's our fat pad. Okay.
Okay.
So that we just had right there.
Okay.
But there's no fat.
There's no fat in it. Yeah. So that's what we'd call an empty one. Normally it's like a tube that long, a little sausage. So that looks to me to be a reproductive organ. So let me just have a look here and see, make sure I'm not missing anything else here. Because this is probably our kidney all the way down here. And just really small. So yeah, so those are testes for sure. Okay. So here's our stomach. Okay. So now we're gonna kind of feel it. Yeah. Did he eat anytime soon?
No.
Liquids, no solids.
Yeah.
So there's something in the stomach. We'll open in a second, but I suspect that's the cancer right there. Okay, so this then goes into our duodenum, our intestines, up into our cecum, right here, and then our colon. We'll go ahead and open up that stomach here shortly. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that growth, that is the growth right there. That's the cancer. Not big, you know, that's why a lot of times you can't find it on x-rays or ultrasound. You see it's just the size of a pea. Put it in the formaldehyde to fix that. The rest of the stomach feels normal and looks normal, and it is empty. Let's get to that heart. Though the heart may look irregular because we did give a cardiac injection. Here's the heart. Let me see if I can pull back our sternum. So this is our heart sitting in the pericardial sac. It kind of has fluid around it so that the heart is kind of lubricated in a sense, yeah. Right, one chamber, here's another chamber, third chamber's right here. So they have 3 chambered hearts. And then their third chamber kind of has a little muscle in it. It helps them shunt their blood from chamber to chamber. Black, they actually have what are called chromophores, are kind of pigmented cells that can change their color. So that's pretty much it. You know, it's very hard to cut open to look at the brain, so I'm not going to do that. The lungs look really good, you know. The heart looks potentially a little big, but nothing like crazy. Okay. You know, the liver small, but you know, if we're not eating, you know, that doesn't shock me. Gallbladder big, doesn't shock me since it's probably not emptying since we're not eating. Intestines look relatively normal, albeit empty. And then our fat pads were empty. So that's pretty much the necropsy.